Chapter 2. The Church Militant. For many years after the settlement of New England, the Puritans, even after outwardly tranquil times, went armed to meeting. And to sanctify the Sunday gun-loading, they were expressly forbidden to fire off their charges at any object on that day save an Indian or a wolf, their two greatest inconveniences. Trumbull, in his McFingal, writes thus in jest of this custom of Sunday arm-bearing. So once, for fear of Indian beating, our grandsires bore their guns to meeting, each man equipped on Sunday morn with Psalmbook, shot, and powder horn, and looked in form, as all must grant, like the ancient true church militant. In 1640 it was ordered in Massachusetts that in every township the attendants at church should carry a competent number of pieces, fixed and complete with powder and shot and swords, every Lord's Day to the meeting-house. One armed man from each household was then thought advisable and necessary for public safety. In 1642, 6 men with muskets and powder and shot were thought sufficient for protection for each church. In Connecticut, similar mandates were issued, and as the orders were neglected by diverse persons, a law was passed in 1643 that each offender should forfeit 12 pence for each offense. In 1644, a fourth part of the trained band was obliged to come armed each Sabbath, and the sentinels were ordered to keep their matches constantly lighted for use in their matchlocks. They were also commanded to wear armor, which consisted of coats basted with cotton wool and thus made defensive against Indian arrows. In 1650, so much dread and fear were felt of Sunday attacks from the red men that the Sabbath day guard was doubled in number. In 1692, the Connecticut legislature ordered 1/5 of the soldiers in each town to come armed to each meeting, and that nowhere should be present a guard at time of public worship fewer than 8 soldiers and a sergeant. In Hadley, the guard was allowed annually from the public treasury a pound of lead and a pound of powder to each soldier. No details that could add to safety on the Sabbath were forgotten or overlooked by the New Haven Church. Bullets were made common currency at the value of a farthing in order that they might be plentiful and in every one's possession. The colonists were enjoined to determine in advance what to do with the women and children in case of attack.